Welcome to the Warlock episode. Warlock is Prince's favorite class. Am I wrong?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
It is your favorite class.
I've only played it several times.
And it's understandable why. He's a big roleplay guy, and this is the roleplay class. So
No, it's not.
let's see what additional flavors that Tasha's Cauldron of Everything can put. The optional stuff is the additional Warlock spells, or the first one, which I think are desperately needed for the Warlock. Let's just see what those are. They have access to the new Booming Blade, which is something we'll look at.
Boom boom.
The new Green Frame Blade, which is something
Bam
we'll
bam.
look at. Lightning Lure, which is a newer one. I mean, like it's I've
old.
used that
It's
before.
old new.
I know it's old new, but they updated it. Mind Sliver, and then Sword Burst, which are all
Sword burst.
updated,
Sword ring.
all updated or new. At third level, they have access to Intellect Fortress, which is a new one. Spirit Shroud, new one. Summon Fang, new one. Summon Shadow Spawn, new one. Summon Undead, new one. All these
They
are
could
new
summon
ones.
all the motherfuckers.
Yeah. Summon Aberration, which is a new one. Fifth level, they have Mislead, Planar Binding, and Teleportation Circle. Teleportation Circle for Warlocks. That's so cool, man.
Yeah,
they can finally do that shit.
You know, my patron said I should be able to do that, so
I do it.
I do it. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Nothing.
Whatever the song is. I just have a repeat of like some copyright free music.
Oh, nice, dude.
Stuff,
That's what I like to hear, bro.
I'm gonna actually remember this one. I want to
Yeah,
use
you
this
do
later.
that. You better remember.
Sorry. I know that this is totally not anything regarding what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Caleb is
Oh.
amused.
Oh,
Okay, so they also get Dream of the Blue Veil, Summon Fiend, Tasha's. All these are new spells. Ninth level Blade of Disaster, which is a new spell. But also have Gate and Weird. They have a lot of new stuff.
Weird.
And I think they have almost access to every new one, potentially, probably.
I mean, it was pretty much meant for them at that
Yeah.
point.
It's good stuff.
Good shit.
stuff.
Good shit.
Warlock got the D. Pack Boon. We have an additional Pack Boon option, which is the Pack of the Talisman, which is the newest feature, little pack feature. One of the key features for Warlocks is they have these different packs. Pack of the Blade is a consistently used one, probably the most used one, to give an example. But this one is the Pack of the Talisman. Your patron gives you an amulet. A talisman that can aid the wearer when the need is great. When the wearer fails an ability check, they can add a D4 to the roll, potentially turning the roll to a success. This benefit can be used a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and all expended uses are restored when you finish a long rest. If you lose the talisman, you can perform an hour ceremony to give yourself a replacement from your patron. This ceremony can be performed during a short or long rest, and it destroys the previous amulet. The talisman turns to ash when you die. Okay. That is
Very underwhelming.
It's very underwhelming.
Yes.
But I can see it being useful in a very specific campaign, or if you're trying to fit a specific role of being the one that is
Guidance.
needing to pass all the checks.
Guidance.
So, if you need to play a character that passes checks,
It's like very
go.
stereotypical of that guy that's always flipping the coin and just heads.
yep, I win.
Heads.
I mean, you're not flavoring it up though.
Heads.
Show
I mean,
him
that's
wrong.
the
Prove it
flavor.
wrong.
That's the flavor. Heads.
I mean, kind of a little bit. No, that's your. Is that your character that you just created for the Pack of the Talisman?
Heads.
My talisman is a coin.
It's only heads.
Wow.
I only get heads.
Eldritch Versatility. Whenever you reach a level in this class that grants an ability score improvement, you can do one of the following that represents a change in focus. You can replace a cantrip that you learned from this class's Pact Magic feature with another one. You can replace the option choose for the Pact Boon feature with one that features another option. So basically, you can change from Pact of the Talisman to Pact of the Blade like that, which is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
That's
I
actually
find
really
that
dope.
to be very interesting.
I think that's actually really clutch. in certain situations, because I don't think you would be limited to just one option. And also, the flavorful options are.
It definitely
so
feels like,
good.
okay, like your patron is constantly
Helping you.
Yeah, and it's giving you different boons all the time to help you with different scenarios that it knows you're gonna face.
Imagine your book just turning into a sword, but all the words that were in the book just are implanted into that sword, and that's just really cool to me.
Exactly.
It adds so much more flavor to the class, or the ability to roleplay however you want to. That's why Warlock, even though it is not by far not
It's not the
best
strongest.
class,
It's not strong.
One of the most it's one of the most played because
Algebra
it's
class.
super fucking fun.
Mainly because of algebra class.
Not really.
Yeah.
That's what you feel. That's what you feel.
Yeah.
And then lastly, if you're 12th level or higher, replace one spell from your Mystic Arcana feature with another Warlock spell at the same level.
Which is kawaii, because that kind of like, you get locked into your Mystic Arcanum the same way a bard gets locked into his secret spell.
Yep.
And so that gives you like, I haven't used this Mystic Arcanum since I got it. Thankfully, I can change it. And so that that helps out the little warlock in his endeavors.
I agree. They have some more invocation options. This is one for the Pact of the Talisman feature at 12th level, if you have that still. While someone else is wearing your talisman, you can use your action to teleport to the unoccupied space closest to them, provided the two of you are on the same plane of existence. The wearer of your talisman can do the same thing, using their action to teleport to you. The teleportation can be used a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and all expended uses are restored when you finish the long rest.
Imagine that. Like, you're just on the other side of the world, and you're just like, so I want to play my character again. I use my action to teleport back
to the character I'm currently playing. Aha!
Alright, we swap. I think that's kind of like a genius way to, like, if you want to play multiple characters.
I mean, if you wanted to do, I think I'm obsessed with this idea, and I probably shouldn't be, but it's just so easy to flavor twins. If you wanted to play different twins, or if twins of the same patron, and they're just doing different sides on a different world, or you can literally just tag in and tag out that way. I'm not to say that it's good, but if you're looking for flavors, there's flavor right there.
Well, now you have to take over. What's your name again? Your fake name. Yeah, the one that you tell everyone. Oh,
goodbye.
Hello, I'm Joffrey. Who the fuck's Joffrey? Oh, shit.
I'm his twin. Ah!
No, I am him.
No.
Shut up.
It's really funny.
That would actually be fucking
nutty, right? It's nutty. I love it.
Like your swag, your personality. Everyone thinks you just have like a personality disorder or something.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I think twins are such already a cool idea to implement in D&D.
Oh, I was just thinking of something so sad, like changeling twins, who think that they're twins, but they're not. Oh, they're so sad. Wait, we're not twins, we're just fucking changelings? Are you serious?
Of course, they use the stereotypical tiefling warlock. Probably the most.
Whoa!
I mean, it's not bad. It's
Never
just
have
the
I
most
ever.
used.
Never have I ever.
Eldritch Mind. You have advantage on Constitution saving throws that you make to maintain your concentration on a spell.
I think this is very good for the fucking Warlock because they have very little spell slots. So they want to maintain the concentration on that shit.
Yeah, I just think Jack Truth rather fell the third on that one because he had a lot of those kinds of spells, and he was never able to maintain concentration because he kept getting dicked around.
Yep.
So he would have no spell slots.
If only I had just dipped into Sorcerer to get that fucking shield. Just for shield.
You didn't know that they had it, though.
I didn't.
So,
I never played a sorcerer.
Understood. Either way, 5th level Warlocks can, if you are a Pact of the Tome, you can have this. A new page appears in your Book of Shadows with your permission. A creature can use its action to write its name on that page, which contains a number of names equal to your proficiency bonus. You can cast a Sending spell. Oh my god, this is fantastic. Targeting a creature whose name is on the page without using a spell slot and without using material components. To do so, you must write the message on the page. The target hears the message in their mind, and if the target replies, their message appears on the page. Rather than in your mind, the writing disappears after 1 minute. That is so fucking cool.
That's so Death Note.
It's very Death Note.
That's so Death Note. I love it.
As an action, you can magically erase a name on the page by touching it as well. Dude, that's so cool. That would make me want to play one, just being able to use a Sending spell.
I would flavor it as a Death Note. Like, I'm never using it as a Death Note, but I'm just like always writing down like someone's death. Like, this is how I plan to do it.
Hello? Oh,
and then I always tell them my plans ahead of time.
You're already doing fucking Jack Truth.
So, I'm gonna come to your house and slit your throat while you're sleeping, and then pee in your garden.
Jack Truth? What?
Oh!
What are you talking about? How are you communicating with me?
Don't worry about it, son.
You're going to kill me? Okay. I'll prepare for it. Jesus, that's really funny. 9th level feature, Gift of the Protectors. Once again, another Pact of the Tomb feature. Pact of the Tomb getting a lot of love here. A new page appears in your Book of Shadows. With your permission, a creature can use its action to write its name on that page, which can contain a number of names equal to your proficiency bonus. When any creature whose name is on the page is reduced to 0 hit points, but not killed outright, the creature magically drops to 1 hit point instead. Once this magic is triggered, no creature can benefit from it until you finish a long rest. It's an action you can magically erase the name on the page by touching
It's definitely, you can literally make the Death Note, except like an anti-Death Note. It's like, you die when I fucking tell you you can die.
Yeah.
By all technicality, if you just want to use this on a fucking enemy just to kill it, oh my god, it's just so evil. Like, you kill an enemy just to bring him back. Well, I can do this all day.
I'm going to torture you now.
I just have to sleep a little bit.
And you go for evil warlocks, dude.
I mean, aren't they evil?
No. One of the Shippoop was a warlock, right?
Yeah.
What? He wasn't evil.
Shippoop was diabolical. Bringing around those stones with her all the time.
I'm going to poison your cakes with sugar. Shippoop,
You'll never see it coming.
That's not evil, Shippoop.
Yes, it is. Because they don't like sugar. They have diabetes.
Still your best character today, man. I love Jack Truth, but Shippoop will always be remembered.
Yeah, everyone loves Shippoop.
We don't know if we're ever going to release that stuff. I still have a lot of work to do that because we did run through. Side note, we did run through.
What the hell, Deep?
Waterdeep Dragon Heist.
Like
never posted an
Drano.
episode on this channel, but they're all uploaded. It's just they're all over the place, and once I have that figured out and I'm ready to release that, I'll let you know. They're just very old at this point.
No, they're not. They're good.
This is a loud but perfect storm. This is some metal music.
You're metal.
I'm going to change it though, because we don't need that on music.
You don't know that?
Okay, investment of the Chain Master, a Pact of the Chain feature as well. When you cast Find Familiar, you infuse the summoned familiar with a measure of your eldritch power, granting the creature the following benefits. It gains a flying speed or a swimming speed equal to 40 feet. As a bonus action, you command the familiar to take the attack action.
Finally!
Yes!
Yes!
The familiar's weapon attacks are considered magical for the purpose of overcoming immunity and resistance to non-magical attacks. If the familiar forces a creature to make a saving throw, it uses your spell save DC.
Could finally be the Pokemon master I was meant to be.
When the familiar takes damage, you can use your reaction to grant resistant against that damage.
Finally,
That's really
familiars are useful.
Dude, familiars can be useful. You just have to take a class that has the option to touch spells that the wizard doesn't, and then use those by gifting yourself. I'm saying like I haven't done that already. That's pretty much what I did with Maddie, because I'm just going to be using my familiar to heal with touch spells or inflict wounds, which is a really fun spell to use. Wizard. Protection of the Talisman, which is a unique feature to the Talisman feature, which is introduced. When the wearer of your Talisman fails a saving throw, you can add a d4 to the roll, potentially turning the save into a success. This benefit can be used a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and all excluded uses are restored when you finish a long rest.
Once again, a saving throw can be a death saving throw.
Yep.
So that nat 1 that you got can literally not be a nat 1.
And that's fantastic. Rebuke of the Talisman. Another Talisman feature. There's no level cap on it. You can just take it when you take Talisman if you want to. When the wearer of your Talisman is hit by an attack, you can see within 30 feet of you. You can use a reaction to deal psychic damage to the attacker equal to your proficiency bonus and push up to 10 feet. This is fantastic for early level.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like level 1 feature, this is baller. So if you do take the Talisman, I think that's great. I think you take that if you're trying to protect people, or if you're thinking it from a combat perspective, or if you just want to push people away.
Positioning as well.
That's a good one. I like that. But like I said, for later game, I don't know if that's ever going to be useful. Early game, fantastic. I think that's great early game.
Well, the thing is that it doesn't specify size, so that means you could push a gargantuan creature away.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool in itself. But we're talking... We'll excuse the piss poor damage at the get-go and look at the 10 feet away from... pushing it 10 feet away. If we just look at the pushing feature itself, I think that's great. I think even... You're right. I may have to change my opinion on that. Later game, it could be good. I just think that's a good one in general. Now thinking about it, you changed my mind, so...
Yeah, you can push that bitch out the end of the bridge.
Yes!
Get pushed!
Undying Servitude is the last one you get, and the only prerequisite is that you are a 5th level Warlock. You can cast Animate Dead without using a spell slot. Oh, boy, that tools.
Oh, you would love that.
Once you do so, you can cast it in this way again until you finish a long rest. You would use that.
You would love that.
Too bad you can't do it.
Too bad he's not alive or existing.
Right now.
Yeah, too bad.
And that's all that stuff. Now we get into the 2 different subclasses. The Fathomless. Do you want to take this one? Since I've been talking for a little bit, and get about the list.
I never understood why some people get so jittery about tentacles. I love tentacles. Have you ever had a octopus nigiri? One of the few pieces of evidence of benevolent multiverse.
She's such a weird card.
Yeah.
So basically you said, I like tentacles.
Yes, she did say she likes hentai.
She didn't say that.
She basically sent it. I mean, why would she not?
She probably would.
I love hentai. That's what she said. You have plunged into a pact with the deeps, an entity of the ocean, elements of plain, water, or otherworldly seas. Now allows you to draw the thalassic power. It's merely using you to learn about terrestrial realms? Or does it want you to open the cosmic floodgates and drown the world? Perhaps you were born into a generational cult that venerates the fathomless and its spawn. Or you might have been shipwrecked on the brink of drowning when your patron's grasp offered you a chance at life, just like Ford. That's so crazy. That's what happened to Ford. That's exactly, oh my goodness, that's crazy. Whatever the reason of your pact, the sea and its unknown depths call to you. Entities of the deep that might empower Warlock, include the Kraken, ancient water elemental, godlike hallucinations dreamed into being by Kuatoa, merfolk demigod.
Because
Yeah, I mean,
fantastic. And
sea people are OP.
Sea Hag Covet.
Yeah, see? It doesn't have to be like a patron
Kraken!
all the time.
No.
It could be a bunch of sea bitches.
That's what makes Warlock and Sorcerer so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because you can fanatically make them whatever you want.
Exactly.
It feels like you have more freedom now.
What happened to Krakatoa? What happened to him? Well, I don't see him anywhere.
Pretty much is there though.
Oh, that's so shitty. That's so shitty. Why do they not have Krakatoa? Anyways, expanded spell list. Create or destroy Wawer. So fitting. Thunder Wave.
That fits.
So fitting. Gust of Wind. So fitting. Silence. Maybe not so much. Lightning Bolt. Sleep Storm. Control Water. Water, of course. Summon Elemental. Big Beast and appears as a tentacle. Cone of Cold. Cone. Just getting frosty. Getting frosty with him. Getting frosty with him. And right. Getting frosty with him. Alright, this man apparently has some deep-seated issues. As I don't know what he's like. He got like a chunk bitten out of him. Look at that V cut though. That's really what matters.
I'm not looking at
Like
his
the
dick,
V.
dude.
No, the V cut.
We ain't
I'm talking about the V cut.
No,
Like
I know what you're pointing at on the
Yeah.
screen. You guys don't see it, but I know what he's pointing at.
yeah.
And because you can't see it, he's literally just rubbing his Johnson. Can we like
No, that's not.
tentacles of the
That's
deep?
that's the part that connects to it. Oh, okay. Yeah, tentacles of the deep.
You're pretty much touching it.
No, not at all. So long wall of text. You magically summon a spectral tentacle that strikes at your foes. As a bonus action, you create a 10-foot long tentacle. 10-foot long.
It's 10 foot long.
At a point you can see within 60 feet of you. So it just like. Tentacle lasts for uno momento, or until you use this feature to create another tentacle. When you create the tentacle, you make a melee spell attack against one creature within 10 feet of it. On a hit, the target takes d8 cold damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 until the start of your next turn. When you reach 10th level in this class, it increases to 2d8. As a bonus action on your turn, you can move the tentacle up to 30 feet and repeat the attack. So it's like a spiritual weapon.
Yeah, it's really good.
Alrighty.
It's giving the warlocks pretty much their own unique spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
It's a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can summon the tentacle a number of times equal to your proficiency and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Remember, it's very important to these certain subclasses we need to point out. Warlock is another one of those classes that you can multi-class one time and get a feature. So when we're looking at these first level features, you can just get them just by putting one level without sacrificing the final level cap of certain things, unless you're going palette, which is the only option where you're sacrificing your last feature. Which is great. If you go one level and you choose the Fathomless feature, you gain this, and then the feature before, or the feature below it.
So I like that this thing can't even be hurt.
Nope.
It has no AC. It has no HP.
Neither does spiritual weapon.
Yep.
It's literally just spiritual weapon, except it's just got cold damage and reduces the temp feed. It's got a little bit more than spiritual weapon, but
as far as flavor goes, I like it. I mean,
No.
the damage isn't OP, but then again, you have Eldritch Blast on top of that. You Eldritch Blast and then bonus action this thing. This gives you more of an option, so that you just don't, Eldritch Blast and you sit there like a muffin, and that's pretty much it.
Yep.
You can Eldritch Blast, and then, DM, I would like to tentacle rape someone.
that's what you would do, and then I'd be like, can you leave the table and think about what you're doing?
Intercourse.
Comes back.
Oh. That's what happens.
Think about what you're doing?
Nope.
Okay, well then you need to leave.
No. Give her the seat. Gain swimming speed of 40 feet. And you could breathe underwater.
First level feature. If you're just like, hey, fuck it, I want a subclass, I want to get powers.
Get nautical. Get
and
nautical with
I
it.
want to be able to breathe underwater.
Get nautical
Just
with
put
it.
one level. It only takes one level out of all the stuff to just be able to breathe underwater just by going Fathomless Warlock.
Get nautical with it.
So fucking cool.
Oceanic Soul. You are now even more at home in the depths. You gain resistance to cold damage. In addition, when you are fully submerged, any creature that is also fully submerged can understand your speech, and you can understand theirs. So you literally just like yes. So my entire life story is so.
It's freaking Aquaman.
Yeah, that means you can actually speak to underwater creatures. You're Aquaman
You're
indeed.
Aquaman, dude. It's fucking funny.
You can talk to all the fishes.
Dude.
You can talk to all the aberrations, the aboliths.
Hey, he's in the water. Get out the water, please.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Want your blood.
No.
No. Can you let me bite you just a wee bit?
No. No.
I'm a shark, no.
No.
You don't want me to bite you?
That's what I don't want you to do.
How are you talking to me? Alright, we
Boo.
go too far.
Boo.
Continue. Guardian Coil.
No, I don't like it. Guardian Coil. Your tentacle of the deeps can deafen you and others, interposing itself between them and harm. When you or a creature that you see takes damage within 10 feet of the tentacle, you can use your reaction to reduce those creatures. One of the creatures, and reduce the damage to that creature by a d8. When you reach 10th level in this class, the damage reduced by the tentacle is 2d8. Okay.
I'm sorry. You just reduce damage? What was
Yeah,
that?
damage reduction.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, your first level stuff is pretty good. This is like,
Iffy.
yeah,
It's very iffy.
could be better.
Not terrible, but it seems very, once again, specific.
Yes, indeed. I don't exactly like it.
I'm not a big fan either, if I'm being 100. I think they could have done something more.
Yeah, it definitely gets outshined by some other classes.
A lot.
Yeah. Can't do much about that part, though. No.
No, you can. It's just flavoring it up and asking your DM to make it better.
Please.
If they want to do it.
Please help me.
And then 10th level.
Grasping tentacles.
Jesus, what a freaking man of a feature.
You learn the spell. Have large black tentacles. They pop out of the ground and start touching you. It counts as a warlock spell for you, but it doesn't count against your number of known spells you know. You can also cast it once without a spell slot. You regain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. Whenever you cast a spell, your patron's magic bolsters you, granting you a number of temporary hit points equal to your warlock level. Moreover, damage can't break your concentration on this spell.
Man, Warlock it gives you so many different ideas. Because anybody can be a Warlock. And then I start my brain starts trailing down on character creation ideas. And I don't really like this ability.
I mean, give me that 6th level.
And it'd be good. But that's not the case. This is your 10th level ability.
But getting it at 6th level would kind of break.
I mean, the temporary HP don't hurt.
No, it's just this thing is 3d6 damage. It's a 4th level spell slot.
I mean, you can cast it once without a spell slot.
It lasts for a minute. It's constant damage and restrain as well.
I will say that.
So restrain, constant damage, plus you get your Eldritch Blast. The damage output that you're going to be doing is ridiculous, because then you could also cast Hex.
Yeah.
You can cast Hex, use this spell, use the Tentacles of the Deep.
No, now that you mention it like that, yeah.
When you combo it,
You have to combo it though.
yeah.
And sometimes you're not able to do that because you're a warlock. You target it very easily and die.
But
Just
you don't
like
have
the
to you don't have to concentrate on it though, so it wouldn't really matter as far as that goes. As long as they're restrained though.
Oh, true.
Actually, yeah. So now seeing that the
It's
restraint
actually
part,
pretty good. All right.
yeah.
It's not great. I don't feel like it's like, oh my goodness, that's
You can
great.
definitely crowd control pretty heavily with this.
I think this is insanely flavorful, which I feel like fits a warlock perfectly.
Yeah.
And I feel like the abilities that they have given this, theme-wise, bomb. But we're talking about theme-wise. And we have to look at it from both perspectives. Okay.
It's a lot of tentacles.
That's the class
It's so
of-
weird. It's a lot of tentacles. It's just,
They just said, fuck it, dude.
yeah, they were just like, you know what, we're gonna go full on.
Tentacle porn with this.
Yeah. You really like tentacles. That's what this class says.
Yep. Fathomless Plunge.
Can magically open temporary conduits of watery destinations. As an action, you can teleport yourself and up to 5 other willing creatures that you can see within 30 feet of you. Amid a whirl of tentacles, you all vanish and then reappear 1 mile away in a body of water you've seen. Pond size or larger within 30 feet of it. Each of you appearing in an unoccupied space within 30 feet of the other. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. A lot of the level capabilities were just teleporting people.
Yeah. It's weird.
And then it's so specific too because it has to be a body of water.
Oh, this sucks.
I don't know how I feel about the specification of it has to be a body of water.
I don't like it at all.
Because then what if your DM just says,
This is not water.
honestly,
This is when you play, if you want to play a warlock and you're just like, fuck it, you need to be able to make sure you talk with your DM about what kind of warlock you want, what kind of campaign you're playing in. Because I promise you, if you are playing in a campaign like, let's play in this, we are going to be running the what the hell? Not the Abyss, because that actually has moments
Yeah,
where that
there's a
would
lot
be
of
very
water.
very fucking
there's a
useful.
lot of water in it.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, that would be really great for Out of the Abyss. Avernus.
I mean, if your
The
DM
Avernus would
counts
be okay.
lava as water.
Why am I blanking on this?
No, I don't think Avernus would count because there's
No.
mostly blood river. They have lava.
No, you don't go in the Blood River.
Yeah, you don't, which is it's there.
You die.
It's there though.
Um,
It's an option.
Icewind Dale. I don't know why my brain. Rime of the Frost Maiden. If they're like, oh, hey, we're playing Rime of the Frost Maiden, you're just like, oh, I wanted to play Fathomless.
Too bad, bro.
I'd probably be like, you can do that.
Well, you're never gonna get to your level of capability though. That's
True.
one thing. So everything else is like it's okay. The resistance
water.
to cold would help
It would be okay.
tremendously in the campaign like that, but it's like the swim
It would be
speed
okay.
would just be
Pointless.
yeah.
You're not
You're not going into that fucking water. No one's going into that water.
No. It's frozen over anyway. So yeah, okay, fireball it. Let's melt it. Just goes right back over because it's that cold.
No.
You may not do it as quick as you hope.
You're annoying to me.
It may not be as quick as you.
I don't
may
like
make
it.
Seem, but
I
that's
don't
the
like
case.
it.
It's okay. It's not a bad subclass. It's okay. Very situational for what you're doing.
Yeah, the first few levels, once you hit level 6, maybe even level 10, then you kind of ramp up. But the power spike takes really long.
It does. 10th level to get that shit.
That takes really long.
And you just have to be specific with what you want or what you do.
And then you're seeing, you know, all your friends smite people and just doing tons of damage, and you're just like, I wish I could do tons of damage.
But you don't.
Unless, of course, all your evocations are just focused on damage.
Warlock. I will say this: Warlock is just so good because, like, my brain just goes in so many different directions with quick character builds right off the bat. Like the original, what I thought immediately was some sort of Feywild tentacle like being, something that we would create later that gifted this that found an Eladrin coming across one of these beings and being vamped into um, Faerun and wherever your campaign is, that'd be Faerun. And then just doing a whole bunch of weird tentacle shit, and then the emotional warfare of an Eladrin with, oh my god, I'm feeling this way today. Oh, I'm angry today. I think an Eladrin Warlock is just such a cool idea. I think it's so fanatically like
emo Warlock,
it's just
happy
so
Warlock.
it's just so role play heavy. It's not even funny. For me, I would love to do that, and I think that's just a concept that is great. But my point being, Warlock is very role play heavy. So if you like role playing, it's definitely the direction you went.
Once again, the abilities for Warlock
Or epi.
albeit they're thematic and they all make sense to go with the class. The grasping tentacles and the guarding coil
is not that great, man. It can be good at times, but it's very specific.
But I feel
Very
like
fucking
this
specific.
is more of a personal
Thing, yeah.
This is like it feels more like you're not doing any of this and your patron is directly helping you, which is what the thing that I like about that part.
Oh.
I feel like you can literally flavor this like your patron's literally with you all the time. Your patron is literally helping you.
It's also, I think the art does help a little bit with that, showing the tentacle coming from inside of it, as if the patron itself is
exactly
living within him.
If we're talking about statistic wise and damage output or defensibility or usage and versatility, it doesn't offer what many classes can, but it does offer the biggest of role plays. Like Avard's tentacle can literally be all your patron. Whatever it is, being the Kraken itself rising up from the ground and literally just slapping things around for you, choking your enemies, crushing them underneath the weight of their immense power. It's definitely a showy and flashy subclass. That's the one thing I like about it. That's one thing I could say, if anything.
Oh yeah, I think it played in
Thinking
the right
about
way,
it
and
that way.
When you think about it from a roleplay perspective, it's bomb. But I can say that about any of them,
Mm-hmm.
as far as subclass wise. Don't get me wrong, Fathomless gives its own unique flavor, which it should. But I can say that about any of the Warlock subclasses,
Exactly.
even the lackluster ones, that they add a specific flavor that no other class in D&D does, and that's why Warlock is so great to us. Your opinion? If you don't like Warlock, your opinion.
But once again, if you're a bin maxer, this is not the class for you.
No.
They're a subclass. It's not the subclass for you at all.
Yeah. Well, we've been on that a little bit too long. Let's move on to G. The G. I know finding housing in Greyhawk is rough, but when genies and warlocks offer you cheap rent, run.
Run. Don't.
You have made a pact with one of the rarest kinds of genies, a noble genie. Such entities rule vast fiefs on the elemental planes and have great influence over lesser genies and elemental creatures. Noble genies are varied in their motivations, but most are arrogant and wield powers that rivals that of lesser deities. They delight in turning the tables on mortals, who often bind genies into servitude and readily enter into pacts that expand their reach. You choose your patron's kind or determine it randomly. One of the cool Oh, this I already love this subclass. It's probably it's just so good already. Because genies are already like a realm of D&D that is not explored enough. And this gives plenty of reason to kind of go into the genie territory.
I totally played one though, so I mean, he was really nice. He's a really nice guy.
You did?
Yeah, my genie luchador.
You did, but like we didn't get a chance to explore it often. You get to choose a kind, like it's mentioned above. Deo, which is an earth. Jin, which is an air. Afridi?
Afridi, yeah.
Yeah, Afridi, which is a fire, and a Merid, which is a water. So
Which
these
I
are like,
love the fact that most of these names, these are Final Fantasy summons. They kind of basically use these molds to help shape their creatures, which is awesome.
but they also, it's one of those things where certain fantasy terms are worldwide and aren't like stapled to something else. So I'm just glad that that's one of those things that it's just not like, oh, it's not like the Final Fantasy term to universal genie.
No.
It's like saying, oh, genie is just an Aladdin thing. It's not.
Wait, it's not?
No.
You're wrong.
Aladdin might be a warlock though. He wasn't using magical powers though. I will say that much. Maybe Pack of the Blade.
No, he basically was. He casted, his genie was his focus.
Weirdly enough.
He casted
but
his
the
genie.
thing is, he was completely useless after his.
Yeah, that's how warlocks. That's how warlocks are. They're completely useless sometimes.
Just after that.
I'm completely useless.
That's why we'd probably put him more in a rogue territory. We could have a whole video creating different builds for characters. Oh, that would be so much fun.
No,
we can do a lot today.
No, we can't.
No. Genie expanded spells. Look at the different expanded stuff, and the coolest part about this subclass is it is based off the Jinn that you chose. So this gives so many unique options to the Warlock in general, being able to choose from this. And they have the Genie spell that you get, and then the specific spell that you get via the Jinn that you choose, or the Genie you choose.
No.
For first level, we'll just go individually here. You get Detect Evil and Good guaranteed no matter which one you do. If you choose Deo, you have Sanctuary.
My Sanctuary.
Which is a really good spell. Thunder Wave for a Jinn. Afridi gets Burning Hands. And then Marids get Fog Cloud. Fog Cloud's so much fun. It's such a fucky spell though. So, like, you get fucked by that very easily. You gotta be careful when you use it. But
that's not a nice thing to say.
It's a tricky spell.
It's not a nice thing to say.
It was in specific campaigns it can be useful, and it was useful then. Second level they get Phantasmal Force, guaranteed. Deos get Spike Growth. Gens get Gust of Wind. Afridis get Scorching Ray, and then Marids get Blur. Yo, a Warlock with Scorching Ray. Yo.
Yeah, it's a Warlock, but with Scorching Ray.
I just like different classes having so many different options.
I don't like it.
It's so much fun for me.
It's too much diversity.
I'm already looking at the Afridi and just being like, okay, we know they're basically giving all the wizard stuff to them, but accepting
fire stuff.
So okay, it's
on fire.
This is fantastic.
It's on fire. That's what it says.
I mean, true, but like the fire spells are like the coolest in D&D. Third level, you get Create Food and Water. Deos get Meld into Stone. James get Wind Wall. The Freedies get the classic Fireball, and Marids get Sleet Storm.
Sleet Storm.
Fourth level, they get Phantasmal Killer, which would make sense for having a Genie patron. Deo spell is Stone Shape. Jin spell is Greater Invisibility. A Freedy spell is Fire Shield, and Marid spell is Control Water. So many good stuff.
That's what that was. I couldn't tell.
I don't know. I'm having fun with this one. This is the fun one for me. Don't get me wrong. Fathomless was interesting. It's just like this is already probably better. Just looking at it, we don't know. We haven't looked at everything, but I'm already enjoying this a little bit better. Fifth level to get Creation, which is heavily probably a Genie spell. This would make sense for Genies. Deo, Wall of Storm. Jin, Seeming, dude.
Yeah.
For a warlock having seeming.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Because they want to, that's why.
It's so warlocky.
Jeez.
And then 5th level, the freeze get flame strike.
No, they don't. It says flame
One of the
strike.
coolest spells in D&D.
How do you know that?
Because I did it as a warlock.
That doesn't mean anything.
Merit, get Cone of Cold. And remember, with these spells, you don't have to grab them. They are already associated with you and what you're able to do in the game. Granted, you're limited to the ones that you choose as a genie, but you have the option to choose, which is cool. And then finally, the obvious one is Wish, that you get at 9th level.
Fish.
As a 9th level spell.
Fish. Oh. Oh, fish.
Not 9th level spell. Let me be clear with that. Okay, remember, when we're looking at these first level stuff, you can go 1 level Warlock, and you can get these features. First level Genie feature is Genie's Vessel. Your patron gives you a magical vessel that grants you a measure of the Genie's power. The vessel is a tiny object, and you can use it as a spellcasting focus for your Warlock spells. You decide what the object is, or you can determine what it is randomly rolled by rolling on the Genie's Vessel table. Alright, they have the options for the vessel, the obvious one being the oil lamp, and you can look at the stuff by pausing it, the same again. We're not going to go into each individual one.
Wow.
While you are touching the vessel, you can use it in the following ways. Bottle Respite. As an action, you can magically vanish or enter your vessel, which remains in the space you left. The interior of the vessel is an extra dimensional space in the shape of a 20-foot cylinder, 20 foot high, and resembles your vessel. The interior is appointed with cushions and low tables and is a comfortable temperature. While inside, you can hear the area around the vessel if you are in the space itself. You can remain inside the vessel up to a number of hours equal to twice your proficiency bonus. You exit the vessel early if you use a bonus action to leave. If you die or if the vessel is destroyed, when you exit the vessel, you appear in an unoccupied space closest to it. Any objects left in the vessel remain there until carried out. And if the vessel is destroyed, every object stored there harmlessly appears in the unoccupied spaces closest to the vessel's former space. Once you enter the vessel, you can't enter it again until you finish the long rest. That's a lot of words. Let me be clear with that. You basically are able to enter a genie's lamp.
What?
And have your own genie lamp.
What?
This is a first level thing.
Is that what you? Is that
basically
it?
could just do that.
Is that it? Nani?
Just because it can.
Nani?
I'm sure it has pretty unique stuff to it. And then there's a Genie's Wrath, which is a completely different feature to it. Once during each of your turns, when you hit with an attack roll, you can deal extra damage to the target equal to your proficiency bonus. The type of this damage is determined by your patron's damage. Or by your patron, sorry. Bludgeoning for Deo, specific, Thunder Jen, Fire Ifriti, or Cold Merit. The vessel's AC equals your spell save DC. Its hit points equal your Warlock level plus your proficiency bonus, and is immune to poison and psychic damage. If the vessel is destroyed or you lose it, you can perform another ceremony to get it again. Basically, you can protect yourself from death.
By going inside the butt?
Yeah, maybe for a turn. Early level. We're talking early level here. This is a first level ability, whether you're going first level Warlock or multi-classing.
I think this is more meant for like their intentions with this is that you literally slip into your vessel, someone carries you in. Say for instance.
And yeah, it's more roleplay stuff.
Yeah,
I get that.
That's Warlocks.
Yeah. That's so good. It's so much fun. And of course, immediately, I think the best representation, well, yeah, it is base bitch, and that's fine. I automatically think of Aladdin, and I automatically think of the lamp. And I think it's easy for us to just imagine that when we're going over these abilities. And if the lamp is, or the vessel itself is representative or is part of these abilities, think of it like that and kind of relate it to that. That's just for you to relate to something. if you need an idea of what's going on. Elemental Gift, which is the sixth level feature. You begin to take on characteristics of your patron's kind. You now have resistance to the damage type determined by your patron's kind. Resistance to bludgeoning for a Dale, resistance to thunder for a Jin, resistance to fire for a Freedy, or cold for Mary. In addition, as a bonus action, you can give yourself a flying speed of 30 feet that lasts for 10 minutes, during which you can hover. You can use this bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. What a good feature, dude. I don't think it's fantastic.
Well, it's just
you don't like it. Maybe
the resistance is okay.
Right, I understand that.
Bludgeoning is basically useless.
Yes, you're not wrong.
And then the speed, the flying speed, that's pretty good. It's useful in every scenario. I mean,
there's not a scenario I can think of that it would not be useful besides if there's spikes at the top of a dungeon.
Yeah, for some reason. Just happens to appear there. It's just...
It's underwhelming considering what they could have done.
Like, even with the, 6th level thing that you get for a Fathom, that's also... both of these are interesting. But...
They're very situational.
It's exactly.
And I think it's because you love this class so much that you want it to be good. And it is good in the right situation.
Yeah.
This stuff and what Warlocks do is very situational. And it just feels underwhelming when comparing it to classes like Rogue, which
their
you can just do whatever you
active,
want.
Basically, yeah.
You feel like you can do whatever you want. And the stuff that you can do in game feels pretty much endless when you play Rogue. It feels that way. Granted, can they do everything? No, and it shows in the class. But when we're talking about, I want to go and sneak and do that kind of stuff. I want to go inside this place and do this. I want to do this and this. Your brain comes up with so many ideas because you know that you have a strong chance of succeeding. And you're not afraid to do that kind of stuff. As a Warlock, it feels like sometimes you find yourself being afraid to do different things because you know there is a glaring weakness in those spots. So Warlock is one of those classes that
I guess it's okay. Good in the sense that it's flying speed. You can never go wrong with the flying speed.
Flying speed's really good, man.
And the hovering, but I just feel like it should kind of be more. I don't know. I just feel like it shouldn't be like something you have to tap into. I just feel like
you feel like you should be able to fly. I mean, I feel like you should be able to fly regardless.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be really cool. You feel like you shouldn't really have to use an action to do it.
Yeah. That's what I feel like. I just feel like, okay, you get it for 10 minutes. It's like, okay, if you just fucking play in a rare Croaker, then what are you getting? You know what I'm saying? If you're playing in a rare Croaker, what are you getting from this?
It's one of those things where you gotta look at the abilities before you do it. But then again, what if you really wanted to play an air croaker with a genie? Because there's someone out there that's just like this is a character I thought of before, or a character that I'm thinking of playing and I really want to play. Because regardless of if you're just like, oh, that's a stupid idea, that stupid idea is something that somebody thought of and probably loved. So I get where you're coming from.
And this also kind of just feels like your genie did this thing. Like, your genie just, came up to you and just, rubbed your head and then just, left. And now he has nothing to do with you,
As far as, or as when the Fathom feels like he's always with you.
Exactly.
The genie just feels like he's temporarily with you. And just is like, here's my living space and here's a little bit of a rub.
Yeah, so it's like you came into contact with, a shard from a genie and...
That's it.
That's really it. It just doesn't... It doesn't feel like the genie really gave you what it could have, like, completely. Like, you have your little vessel, and then you have, like, half of its, like, body composure, essentially speaking. I feel like, also, if you play, like, clearly a Gensai, and then you have, like, your opposing nature to it, I feel like that would be a very interesting thing. Because, like, say, for instance, you're a red Gensai or Efreet Gensai, then you have a married Gensai, a married genie that gave you his powers, and you're just kind of like this hot, cold, constantly, like, fluctuating within yourself thing. I feel like that could be like an internal struggle type thing
That'd be really fun.
when it comes to your character. Once again, from role-playing perspective,
It doesn't.
being being able to, like, I don't know, like, say for instance, the fucking flying Nimbus just comes out of nowhere, and you're like, you have the Djinn one, and, like, the flying Nimbus just literally spawns out of nowhere, and you're just like, flying Nimbus, and you hop on it. It makes you feel powerful as a character. I guess that's the part that they want you to do. Because, like, for the moment, you're just a regular guy, then all of a sudden, boom.
You're flying.
Flying Nimbus.
So it's one of those things where, like, you will... I tell you right now, and it's mostly because you love the Warlock class itself. Regardless of what you think now, you start playing it, you're probably going to fucking love it.
No, definitely.
That's because you love Warlock. And the roleplay aspects of it is fantastic. And I think that's where it shines, and it shows in the abilities. But that's the problem, too. It's the yin and yang of the Warlock class. It's got good stuff, and it's got really bad stuff. And 10th level, you get Sanctuary Vessel, which is another lamp thing. Think of the lamp from Aladdin. When you enter your genie's vessel via the bottled respite feature, you can now choose up to 5 willing creatures that you can see within 30 feet of you, and the chosen creatures are drawn into the vessel with you. As a bonus action, you can eject a number of creatures from the vessel, and everyone is ejected if you leave or die, or the vessel is destroyed. In addition, anyone, including you, who remains in the vessel for at least 10 minutes gains the benefit of finishing a short rest. And anyone who can add your proficiency bonus to the number of hit points you gain regain if they spend any hit points as part of the short rest. That last bit of it makes it good. Otherwise, I'm just like, why are we putting them in the vessel? Why are we all in the vessel?
Once again, for a 10th levels thing, this feels like it could have just been attached to your first level thing and just said, okay, once you hit 10th level, you get this as well.
Mm-hmm. And then they could have came up with a different feature that would have made more sense.
Exactly. Like, I feel like, say for instance, you had, I guess the most similar thing to having a connection with your genie is what I would say is, like, similar to how, like, okay, you can summon these tentacles from the Fathom, right? Mm-hmm. You have an ability where you can summon an elemental and then not cast and not use a spell slot, but this elemental is in the form or shape of the djinn that has or your genie that technically gave you the power, and this is kind of like his avatar, and essentially speaking, and that's what you get as your 10th level, and it would probably have abilities that would probably fall in line once again with the aspect of the genie, and it just feels like they
could have done more.
Definitely.
I agree. I feel like there's so many things that they could have done that aren't here. And it feels as though this is part of the vessel thing. Yeah. I'm not sure. I still think it's good.
Because you're also just vulnerable while you're inside there.
It doesn't say that you're protected.
No.
It says you get to die and shit.
You get vamped in there.
And that's it.
And it's like, okay, now so let's say for instance, this is your 10th level shit and this is what you get. if your vessel is now invulnerable. Like, this shit can be knocked around, tossed around, fucking thrown inside the water. Now imagine being in a scenario where now the enemy has your vessel along with you and 5 willing creatures, and it just throws you in a pit of lava. And then the DM just like, you all kind of die. Because what's to say that this doesn't happen? There's nothing that protects you. You
Not
just
really.
you just
in
die.
a lamp or something.
Exactly.
Whatever vessel you choose.
Exactly. It just.
It's not great. It feels like it should have been attached to the first ability and been done with. And then maybe they came up with something different.
Exactly.
That's where we come in as DMs, and we figure out how to make it better. Because this could be done better.
This could be.
I
feel like just adding the word, this vessel is invulnerable, and if you are in a space that is harmful, it automatically ejects you out.
Would help.
Because this would feel like your genie
is helping.
Is just an automatic, like, savior right there.
Yeah.
It's not like the genie doesn't even have to fucking think about it. Its magic is so powerful that it wouldn't allow you to be in a scenario where you're gonna fucking die.
Right. And this is a 10th level ability, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it should be a short rest. Actually, short rest might be okay.
Short rest is okay. Because you get, you get catnap is a fucking, it's catnap.
Yeah.
It's catnap, but with, it's just catnap.
Catnap's a great spell, but only in specific scenarios.
Yeah.
Alright, last thing that they have as a feature is the limited wish. You entreat your patron to grant you a small wish. Here we go with wish stuff. As an action, you can speak your desire to your genie's vessel, requesting once again the effect of one spell that is 6th level or lower and has a casting time of 1 action. This is mighty specific. The spell can be formed from any class's spell list. Okay, you're getting better, and you don't need to meet the requirements in that spell, including costly components. The spell simply just takes effect as part of the action. That's great.
Feel like it could be like 8th level or lower, because this is your level cap. This is what.
Yeah. But then again, you also got to look at the level features you get, or the spells that you get. It's so fucking weird. Everything's so
yeah,
weird.
I feel like
Warlock
because
is
you're
such a
actually
class.
because your old thing was like you get wish, you can just wish, you can just do it.
I mean, they get access to wish, but that's when they have it.
But that's just like you can just do it. That was your class feature.
Oh.
You can just do it. That was the old one from like the original print. You can just do it. You can just like.
That's cool.
Yeah, that being a part
now
of your.
Limited, so.
Exactly. So it's like a limited edition.
It feels like a 10th level ability.
I wouldn't say 10th level. You can probably say like it can scale, and once you get level 14, once again, I feel like that could have just been the solution.
There's so many other solutions that we got here that this is great. This is good. I'm not great. Sorry. This is good. Far from great.
Yeah.
I think roleplay wise, Caleb loves it.
Because honestly, what's gonna happen is you're gonna literally be sitting there with like 20 books of like different spells from every single class. That's just gonna be too much to compartmentalize.
For your brain.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, what spell can I use? Hold on, DM, give me 1 hour.
Prep.
Because
you gotta prep though.
How can you prep for the dragon coming out of your ass instead of your mouth?
Prep.
I prepped for the dragon coming out of my ass. Fuck. Now I have to rechange this whole thing. The whole strategy is gone.
Prep.
It just feels
lackluster.
No, it's like not lackluster. It's just. And then it specifies it has to have a casting time of 1 action. Then you're just like, okay, well now I have to know all of these spells, and I have to. Because the casting time, 1 action.
This is good for a veteran player.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're new to the game and want to play Warlock, and
Exactly.
you're not sure what spells come from different classes, and while we've been playing for a couple of years now, we still don't know everything, man.
No. And then with the amount of books that are available, a 6th level spell lore from any freaking class of spell list, huh?
I don't know. It's pretty iffy, dude.
I just feel like you should have just been able to cast a wish.
No.
And then just had like similar wording to what this says.
Where it's a
Like,
limited wish.
It's a limited wish. You can only cast something that is a small wish, not something game changing.
That's what I was thinking. I thought
Because the
that's
6th level
where I
spell,
was going.
yeah, because the 6th level spell or lower is basically, that's not game changing.
No, it's just a spell. And there are so many things we can do different here. But I will say the best part of this entire thing is the spell choices and the spell lists that are guaranteed to you. It's just so different than any other Warlock subclass. You having the ability to choose between these things gives yourself.
I mean, kinda and not kinda, because it depends on what you want your patron to be.
True, but then again,
you could just be the guy who's like, I don't really care what my patron is. I just want it free.
Sounds like you've dealt with something like that.
I don't really, it doesn't really matter what my patron looks like.
Sounds like he's dealt with something like that.
It doesn't really matter what my patron looks like, honestly. He could be like a toe with like wings, as long as he gives me these spells. Mm-hmm. I like that part of the game.
We're just gonna move on from Warlock because I think we can sit here for a while discussing
Wizard.
how to make this stuff better.
Wizard.
Yep. We'll be moving on to the next video.
Wizard.